Welcome to the Rapalia podcast. Today we're doing a deep dive into Kendrick Lamar's sophomore album, To Pimp a Butterfly. Kendrick Lamar is an African-American artist based out of Compton, California. Growing up in a place like that meant that his early days of adolescence didn't come easy, with topics of gang violence, drug trafficking, and murder often being brought up in his music, especially on records such as Good Kid, Mad City, featuring MC I, Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, and Ronald Reagan era, just to name a few. But To Pimp a Butterfly dives more into personal topics, such as depression, pressure of fame, greed, distrust, self-love and hate, racial discrimination, and politics. The record To Pimp a Butterfly draws influence from a variety of different genres, such as 90s boom bap, jazz rap, neo-soul, pop rap, funk, and many more. The album was released at a time when modern hip-hop, trap was at an all-time high, with artists like Future and Lil Uzi Vert collaborating with producers like Metro Boomin to create barbershop and party hits. Even Kendrick decided to ride the trap wave on Good Kid, Mad City on tracks like Swimming Pools, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, and Money Trees featuring J-Rock. But for To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick decided to go a different direction with not just the production, but with the lyricism, working with producers like Thundercat and Terrace Martin to create much more deep and meaningful tracks, not just in the production, but in the lyrics as well. Throughout this album, Kendrick raps about topics such as depression and misidentification, often screaming the lyrics through the drunk, heartbreaking instrumentals. A good example of this is on the 6th track on the album, You. The track is eerie, opening with a blood-curdling scream, layered over multiple different sound effects with squeaking saxophones that just barely make it through the mix. And to top it off, a deep, distorted, synth-sounding bass. Throughout the first half of the track, Kendrick repeats the line, "Loving you is complicated." When first hearing this, you might think that Kendrick is talking about someone in his life, such as a girlfriend, family members, or other people giving him trouble. But in fact, when Kendrick says the line, "Loving you is complicated," he is talking to himself, blinded, drunk in a mirror, telling himself that self-love is made almost impossible, and he blames no one but himself for his actions and the way he is feeling. He is hanging shame over himself for the trouble that he has caused to himself. But at 1 minute and 58 seconds into the track, we get a sudden beat switch. It's hard to make out anything in the instrumental because the sample is flying around the stereo space. But at 2 minutes and 25 seconds, the Spanish-spoken words that's supposed to resemble a housemaid knocking on Kendrick's hotel door disappears, and we hear the full sample. The track sampled is a 2014 single by an alternative artist named Who RL, with the record being titled "Loving You Ain't Complicated." Their airy vocals and strange-sounding piano melody make for a good bass. Kendrick and his producers decided to add a tube bass, snappier drums, and a saxophone that sounds like it's crying with Kendrick as he screams at himself, blaming him for his mother's absence in his life, the death of his friends, questioning his loyalty towards those he holds close, and constantly refers back to one incident where he was told to babysit his friend's brother, but something went wrong. Although it is never said what happened, we can only assume that when Kendrick and his friend's little brother walked out of the house, only one of them went back in alive. The track is no anthem. It is slow, heartbreaking, and extremely deep,